Welcome back to Book Club in the 323 Bourbon Library. I am Molly.
I'm Vanessa.
And today we're going to obviously talk about books and drink bourbon. So we're going to start off with some forbidden. I'm going to read a little bit. I would love to have this memorized, yet I do not. So Marianne Eaves is a master distiller, one of the first women in Kentucky to batch this. It's a small batch number 3 5-year-old Kentucky straight bourbon distilled from an innovative mash bill of white corn, winter white wheat, and malted barley. I have had this before, so it's 95.2 proof. It's very good. The whole story behind it, my husband and I first saw her on Neat, which is a documentary about bourbon. We are that nerdy that not only do we live in this monstrosity, but we also and honestly, if you have not watched bourbon documentaries, I think that's what gives you the buy-in. Like, it's very familial. A lot of history in it. Anyway,
Tradition.
Yeah,
I think that has been my favorite part in listening to some of the other podcast episodes that Ronnie has done, is just the storytelling aspect of it. You
my
really
favorite
get to
part.
Connect to, man, there's a lot of thought and history that has gone into
families, land. Yeah, no, it's wonderful. And to be honest, a lot of the newer distillers that are doing barrel blends, I love that.
Yeah.
And maybe it's the like hipster deep inside. I don't know.
Tradition.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so this is a female distiller. So we are mashing this with The Women by Kristin Hannah.
I'm so excited to finally get to talk about this book. We read this book. Oh, it's been a while.
It has been a while.
So, of course, I did a little refresher.
Yeah.
Dove deep into it. But, man, I just remembered all the reasons why I love this story. So we'll definitely talk story on it.
Yeah.
But I'll do a quick little overview of what The Women by Kristin Hannah is. It's a historical fiction novel about Frances, a.k.a. Frankie McGrath. She's a sheltered young woman who joins the U.S. Army nurse. I can't get this out. The U.S. Army Nurse Corps during the Vietnam War after her brother enlists. Motivated by a desire to serve and find purpose, Frankie is thrust into the brutal realities of war, where she forms deep friendships, experiences love and heartbreak, and is forever changed by what she witnesses. When Frankie returns home, she discovers that many Americans deny or overlook the sacrifices made by women who served in Vietnam. The novel follows her struggles with trauma, identity, and finding her peace in society that doesn't recognize her service. Through resilience, friendship, and healing, Frankie learns to reclaim her life. At its heart, The Women is a tribute to the often forgotten women who served in Vietnam, exploring themes of courage, friendship, sacrifice, love, and the lasting effects of war.
Yeah.
So we will definitely dive into.
Way to go, Kristin Hannah, once again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. So I have a little bit of military background. And typically when you hear kind of a heartache about the military, especially Vietnam, maybe even World War II, but I'd say more Vietnam, is any soldiers that came back were overlooked. And, you know, the kind of, I don't know, mental illness or anything that came back with them was dismissed. And so especially in that time period when you're a woman, like that's a rough go. And I think Frankie, prior to deploying to Vietnam, didn't have a whole lot of life experience. And so that is a rude awakening. That was a brutal war that, you know, she was piecing humans back together.
Literally.
Yeah.
As a nurse.
Yeah.
And sometimes figuratively, because you're right, the mental health aspect of it is definitely overlooked as well. But it seems like in just part of the story that she talks about, it's like the services weren't set up in a way to be prepared to handle any of this. Either mental or even physical issues that people came back with.
Oh, 100%. It probably wasn't until, and I'm sure I'm just spitballing and it's not accurate, so just take that with what you will.
Fact check later.
But probably wasn't until 15, 20 years ago that the military really recognized that mental health was an issue and addressed it and provided services for active military members and made that a more acceptable thing. I mean, most of these people are going and seeing things that they shouldn't be seeing and shouldn't be involved in. Not always, but even going through boot camp, like you're getting screamed at.
Yeah.
A lot.
You are being torn down to be
built back up.
Yeah.
And for a lot of people, that's not something they were prepared for or maybe are built for.
I agree. They tend to be very young, don't always know exactly what they're walking into. They see stories or maybe are sold in a certain way and they're just kind of diving into it.
It's funny when I talk about like my experience with the military, I think this is the most generalized statement I can make, and I don't mean everyone, so I'm so sorry to anyone I offend, but you often see there's two different types of people who join the military. Those who are very proud, right? They're going in because they're going to do something bigger than themselves. And then you have a group of people who are leaving a potentially toxic home life.
Yeah.
And the problem that the military runs into, and then we'll kind of lean back into the book because I feel like we went off on a tangent, but the problem that people run into is they're entering an already semi-toxic potential situation and not having those skills to deal with it.
I think what's interesting about everything you just said is that I think for Frankie, it was a little bit of both of those things.
Yeah.
What comes to mind is her dad's hero wall. So we'll talk a little bit more about that here in just a second.
Yeah.
Should we see what this is all about?
A little forbidden. We're starting lowest proof here because for those of you who have ever made a video, we are going to make more than one. So you'll see these at different times, but start with the lower. It's definitely, it sniffs a lower proof. I think it smells like a bourbon.
Doesn't hit you in the face.
Yeah, some of them
it's just
really
a real
do.
Nice, just calm.
We always refer to that as like a daily sipper.
Notes. Yes.
My guess is when we take a sip of this, it's going to be like, oh yeah, I could have a couple drinks of that when we get home from work or whatever. I'm almost getting a little like applesauce.
Okay.
Maybe.
I'm going to sniff it again. I think in my head.
No, I think it's apple. I'm getting a lot of apple.
I just keep thinking pecans. I don't know why. Listen, I just bought some nice roasted pecans yesterday from Buc-ee's.
Did you
More
go
on
there?
that later.
Oh.
But I think maybe that's why pecans are fresh on the mind. Okay, I get a little bit of apple. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, this is just...
I love pecans. Go down that rabbit hole. Yep. And I will say, I feel like that drink's hotter than 95 proof, which personally I appreciate.
Doesn't burn or linger. I feel like it's drinking at 95.
You think so?
Mm-hmm. Man, that flavor is good. I'm trying to like get some distinct notes.
Oh, I'm bad at tasting notes. Real good on the nose. Yeah. I will say it does not, like, this is a very approachable drink. But I do feel like it has a teensy bit of meat. It has more than some hundreds that we drink. I will say.
You have more experience in that area than I do.
My husband makes me drink a lot.
I was telling my husband the other day, I'm like, yeah, I'm enjoying this sip, but I don't know that I could like pick it out of a lineup if you were to tell me which one is the lowest, which one is the highest.
Yeah.
I don't know that I could.
I will say, so from the tasting I've been doing, I'm really good at guessing typically the proof by the end of it. Maybe the age, price I'm not good at, only because I feel like people who make bourbon are sort of unhinged. They're like, oh, look, no, this tastes good. $4 million. You're like, no, we're not doing that. But I cannot tell you what I'm drinking. I can guess proof, age, no idea what it is.
As far as when you say I don't know what it is, are you
like
talking
I don't know what
or
brand.
Build? Okay.
I don't know what brand. Frankly, I don't know what build. I don't know if I'm usually I can tell if I'm drinking like a rye or a light whiskey. I can tell the difference because I'm not as crazy about those. But it's hard. Like, especially when you start in bourbon, it's like, I don't know. It's all kind of the same. You kind of like.
Does it not taste the same? No.
Yeah, but you do, once you really get into it, you start appreciating like the differences.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate the differences in the nose and the flavor, but I can't distinguish.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying this. What I'm getting on the notes, the tasting notes, I'm starting to get some caramely type flavor. But I'm going to just it's like one of those, because you mentioned apple, I think it's just in my head now, but I'm thinking of like those caramel apple lollipops.
Oh, yes.
You know we
reference that a lot.
It's like a creamy,
yes,
caramely with like the
tart apple in the middle.
sourness.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
tartness.
And I will say, you said pecan, and all of these, I promise you, if you let it just sit in your hand for a little while, it smells different the next time you smell it. It tastes different the next time you taste it. And I 100% smell some sort of nut. So maybe it's pecan, but it
Little
absolutely,
nuttiness.
yeah.
I think we're really picking up on the barrel. I'm pretty sure that's what we're picking up, but
Maybe,
I
but
just
it's so
do just love some like roasted pecans.
It's really good.
Yeah, and I know Ronnie likes to poke fun at the fact that I do like to warm it up. I like to warm it up a little bit in my hand. I do think it changes the flavor a little bit. Is that a thing? To me, it is. I don't know. It is for me. So warm it up a little bit as you're holding it. You know, in between sips, just warm it up with your hands a little bit, and I guarantee you, it's going to taste a little bit different by the time. I mean, it tends to anyway. You know, you're a couple sips in.
Well, I think there's something about it airing out. I really do. Like true. When we do a pour for anything else, I'll sniff it, I'll take a sip, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of trash. And then it's like this $500 bottle. But if I wait 10 minutes, I get a completely different experience.
I do feel that way with Weller 12. I don't know why that one in particular. Yeah. Granted, I don't have this collection. So when we do sip at home, that Weller one I do like pick. To have it once it's set out for a little bit. Yeah. Like pour it out. Yeah. Let it meld. And then I will come and have that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good sipper too.
Oh, it's so good.
Maybe not daily, but it's a good sipper.
I mean, not the whole bottle.
Definitely.
So, okay, to get back to the book, because we'll talk about bourbon forever. Let's see. So she goes over to Vietnam. Yeah.
I mean, she's super young, right? Like
super young. Maybe? Yeah, but there's other women there who have been there. So they kind of cycle through on their service timeline, right? So some of the people she meets were being sent home before she was going to be sent home. And it was this kind of like cycle of new people coming in and how are they going to acclimate themselves? Yeah. But by the time someone new comes in, our character, Frankie, has been there a while. So she's like the professional of what's happening.
Yeah. I want to go even further back though. Like, going back to Frankie's upbringing, I don't think that I haven't mentioned the fact that she's like from an affluent family.
Yeah.
On Coronado Island. Like,
don't we all
They are
wish.
very well off.
Yeah.
When her brother
enlisted,
he goes off, like they throw this grand party.
Yeah, they were so excited.
As a send off for him.
Because the dad was in the military, right? Was he? Or he couldn't. And the rest of their family was.
And there were others in his family who did. That's what it was. So he was very proud and really was, encouraged his son to take that path. That's where kind of the hero's wall comes in. He has pictures of everyone in his family who have gone before, of course, men.
Right.
So they were very excited for Frankie's brother to be going off, into Vietnam. That was not the same experience that she had. They had a very different plan for her. This was set in the 60s. Their plan was for her to marry well and go off, have a family.
And keep her mouth shut.
Yes.
Yeah.
So very different experience than what they were hoping for her. So that's kind of where this all takes place. And it was her brother's best friend, Rye, who introduces her to the idea that she could do it. Also go and make a difference in this war.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Oh, we love Rye. I think we get to know him more throughout the story.
Yeah.
He also goes off to Vietnam. Their paths cross several times. But yeah, so she goes off. She
does her tour. Yeah. And I think this story, so obviously very compelling, her being in Vietnam, as is any story about a war. Yeah. It is very compelling when you're over there. I think what's more maybe unexpected or more part of the story is when she gets back and what that journey looks like.
Yeah.
Her trying to reacclimate, even at one point understanding that something's not okay with her and trying to go in and get help for it and being turned away because there were no women in Vietnam. Yeah. They didn't consider the nurses vets of Vietnam. And just what that journey looks like of developing these relationships when you're deployed and what that looks like when you get back. Both in the friendships, what those friends go on to do or what they, because your persona home can be very different than your persona in war. Right? As and it would be.
That was part of her struggle with the reacclimation is while she was in the war, she was respected. People looked to her for help. And she comes back and she's being tossed aside. Like, she doesn't matter. You aren't contributing to society. You're just in the way.
Yeah.
And she's trying to use the skills that she learned as a nurse back in the States and kind of just, they want to put her in a
dismissed
typical nurse
women's role,
candy striper type role where like, no, you're just here to mop up after someone.
Yeah.
And she's like, listen, I was literally putting people back together. And they're like, no, you weren't.
Yeah.
Right. So that gets her into a little bit of trouble.
Yeah.
Trying to live in a world
navigate that
to what people's ideas are of what she should be or who she should be.
Yeah. And I think, and I don't want to spoiler the book, so I feel like we can't talk a whole lot about the end.
It was unexpected.
It was very unexpected. I think we were in the car and I was listening to it on an audiobook because my husband was listening to a podcast and I was like, well, I'll just finish this book. And my jaw dropped at one point. And it's just the people who like come into your life and out of your life and who's going to be a part of it and what your story ends up being is what is so impactful, and what you can do with trauma and with, you know, because anything in your life, whether good or bad, can help you navigate what your life looks like later and what it looks like for others, and how you can be a part of society and use those scars, so to speak, to do better.
Yeah. I think one of the challenges she ran into is her parents kind of wanted her to hide the scars. Actually, I was re-listening to Abortion, and there was a point in the story where her dad had said she was elsewhere.
Yeah, I was going to say the dad like dismissed her, and the mom at that time period went along with the dad, but on the side
was still communicating with
Yeah.
her and making sure she was okay.
yeah.
So I mentioned a little something about love. So she did have multiple love interests throughout the book. Made some connections. There was some loss involved there. She actually went through a lot of losses.
Losses
in this book, but also, and I mentioned love in the romantic sense, but she also built some super tight friendships with 3 women. And that stayed with her even when she came back. They still worked together, and they were kind of there to pick up some pieces when she was really struggling when she came back.
Well, what do they call that? A trauma bond.
Yes.
It's sort of is that.
Yeah.
Right? You go through an experience and
they were there with you.
And I feel like, I don't know if I'm remembering correctly, but they all do okay in their own lane. Like what eventually the choices they make lead them to be okay.
Yes. Yeah. And I would say that the stories or families or situations that her besties came back to were very different than hers. You know, their families weren't denying that they were at war. They weren't denying their capabilities. They did, I would say, maybe conform a little bit more to society's expectations. I think maybe one of them ended up getting married and having kids.
Yes. Yeah.
So they did conform a little bit more, and Frankie was just
not there.
Not there. She wasn't ready to do that.
I don't think she wanted to. Like, I don't think any of that was her journey, and so that was part of the struggle. First of all, being a veteran, a woman veteran coming back from Vietnam, but also not wanting that journey outside of that.
But it's the 70s, and you're still kind of expected to, you know, come back and marry and live the life that a woman in the 70s is expected to live. And she's, like you said, that was not her journey. That's not what she wanted to come back to do. And she continued to struggle.
I'll tell you, though, Kristin Hannah, I mean...
I also just recently finished The Nightingale.
Oh, did you? Yeah. It was so good. Oh, we'll have to review that.
She just twists and turns you.
I know. You know, I will say, so we're super authentic on this conversation. Yeah. I don't know that I loved The Night Road.
Oh. Yeah, we don't need to talk about that one.
Okay. Okay, well, good. But in general, Kristin Hannah, like, chef's kiss.
Yeah, I do love her character.
Her historical fiction books are money. Night Road was not a historical fiction, and that's where it dropped off.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Because The Great Alone.
Oh, my God. But that wasn't historical either, was it? I don't think that was historical, but it was so good. Yes.
Yeah, no, it was. It was a historical fiction. There was also the Four Winds.
Yep.
Oh,
so good. Nightingale. Okay, wait. I'm going to look. Okay.
I'm
great.
Almost certain that it was. But yeah, just she develops these characters that you just
it's
fall
so
in
good.
love with and
Well,
just
you're so invested. Well, I guess so. Yeah, mid-1970s.
Yeah.
So some of them are like the Dust Bowl. Okay, so that definitely is historic. But Oh, The Great Alone. That's probably my favorite book of hers.
I don't know that I can pick a favorite.
Yeah.
It was The Woman, right? The Women.
Oh,
right
that,
after
no, it was
we
so
were
good.
done.
So good. So good.
And
Anyway, definitely pick it up.
Yep. I think we would both definitely give it
Yeah, it was
many stars. Really enjoyed it. Really connected to the story. Understood the struggles that she was going through and why.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we didn't spoil it. I do hope that everyone goes to check it out if you haven't already.
And the audio was perfection.
Yeah, I don't know who the narrator was, but
It was
it
multiple.
was really good.
Wasn't it? That wasn't just one person.
Someone's gonna have to fact check that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to fact check. But we're saying whatever. I don't care if it was one person and they were using different voices. It was fantastic.
Yeah, they did a great job.
Yeah, loved it.
It helped, I would say, connect to the story a little bit more. There was one comment that I heard, and they talked about how there was a scene where there was a helicopter involved, and they even like made those sounds, and
Yeah, it felt like you were watching a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what we love so much about it.
Yes.
Just like the imagery.
Yes.
Sometimes horrific imagery. Just if you think of war
So
and her
good.
being a nurse.
Yeah.
Was a little bit tough, but
it really puts you there.
yeah. So check it out.
Yeah, check it out. Check out this Forbidden. We always love to support women in anything. And the fact that this is tasty is super beneficial to us.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right. So also pick up Forbidden.
Forbidden.
What was her
Love
name
it.
again? The Kentucky Master Distiller. Marianne Eves.
Oh my gosh, I don't know. We can't find
Okay.
it.
All right.
Marianne Eves, I think. Marianne
Yeah.
Eves.
Yep. She was great.
Anywho, if we're wrong, we'll snip this part out of the thing. But
All right.
pick yourself up, the women. Enjoy it with a bottle of Forbidden. And we will see you next time for book club. Cheers.